So when preparing for this presentation of learning, I started to reflect on my journey and signing up for the course. I'm not in the doctoral program, and because I wasn't sure if the superintendency path was what was going to be eventually my goal. But I thought I'll get my feet wet, I'll do the superintendency certification program before I dive into the doctoral program and see if that is something that I really want to do. And so through the course, you know, there's been so many validating things to me, aha moments and connections that I want to share with you, which have led me to the belief that, you know, after I finish the superintendency program, the certification, that I do want to continue on with the doctoral program. And there's just been some great connections and validations in my beliefs in it, and has validated my choice in beginning the certification program.
Do you want me to click for you?
Okay. Does this work?
I don't know, you try it. See
I know, I can just, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So one of the very first things was, in reading the different articles and in our class discussion, was the notion of teamwork and collaboration. The importance of having that professional learning community established, or working on building that learning community and maintaining it. And when I first got into education, my first career being as a physical therapist, I didn't understand why teachers worked in silos. I was so used to working with a team of a multidisciplinary team of nurses, doctors, other therapists that would come together daily, weekly, and talk about the patient, talk about solutions, talk about different types of programming, or what was working with them and what wasn't working maybe with us. And so when I came into education, I felt lonely working by myself, and that was the culture of the school. I was very fortunate that my mentor, my principal at the time, said, you know, everything that you talk about sounds like this PLC that I've been hearing about. She sent me to a conference, and I was her special education coordinator, and I was fortunate that she let me go through with reestablishing my team as a professional learning community and becoming a model for the rest of the school on how to have a professional learning community. And so reading about this, not just at the campus level, but reading about this in our readings in our class, is just validating about the importance of having a PLC, and as a superintendent, having that established with your board so that you are a team of 8 and you're collaborating, and then also with your administrative team. And as a superintendent, it would also be important for you to keep in mind that maybe some people on your administrative team have not had the PLC model. Maybe they're coming from schools or departments where everybody does work in silos, and so then we would have to support them and provide that PD and, you know, continue conversations about being a learning community, and not taking that for granted, that everyone just comes knowing how to work in a team or knowing how to be collaborative. One of our readings did talk about, you know, the success of having, for a superintendent, of having PLCs established. So a strong administrative team can catapult the success of a superintendent, especially a new superintendent. If you have a collaborative team and that works well together, and that you have that philosophy as well of working with them, then you're not going to take so much time in having to establish relationships and building on the teamwork if that's already there. Something else that stuck out was hiring the very best people. As you all know and have heard, that's something that that's the Northside way. You hire the very best, but then it's important to let them do their work. You hire them and let them do their work. And so in doing so, that frees you as the leader to be able to focus on other things, improving other systems, or meeting with other people and building other relationships. You're only as strong and successful as your administrative team. One example is currently it's my first year at my campus being a new principal, but I already had a very good working relationship with my vice principal. We worked together when I was a vice principal, and she was a counselor 2 schools ago for 3 years, and so that trust was there. I knew her strengths and weaknesses, she knew mine, and so I attribute much of my success this first year to that working relationship and collaborative relationship that we had. And so that validated what I had read about. If a superintendent has that working relationship with their admin team or with their school board, how much further and how much more improvement you can get. One of the statistics I know we shared in class that we read was about how much time of their daily schedule the superintendent spends having to build those relationships with the school board initially, but then also maintaining them and keeping them up to date with the different issues. And then that way it makes your board meetings run a lot more smoother and efficiently when you've kind of hashed out maybe those questions or apprehensions that they have about a plan that's going to be proposed at the meeting. The superintendent speaking about their work, I have just gained so much from hearing them come to our classes and speak about their daily work. It's made it be so much more real. Their candor, they seem very fulfilled and genuine when they talk about their work and their service to the community. Dr. Preston is a great role model for us women, especially given the statistics that about 1/4 of the superintendents are women, and so that was very inspiring to me. Her vehicles of communication analogy was great for us in planning on how we are going to work with others and collaborate with others. Also, Dr. Flores was very his talk about humility, being a servant leader, also spoke with me greatly as far as giving back to the community. And last, as far as ethics in the superintendency, our discussions, especially sharing about the studies and different issues that people have had, our colleagues have had, just validates the feeling of having a strong ethical compass to know where you at and what you believe, what your 10% is, what is the hill that you would and would not die on. And so again, coming into the class, not being sure if this was the right path for me, our activities, our discussions, our readings have validated that this is something that I want to pursue.